2016. It's the end of the year and I'm happy. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really happy this year's over. Not a lot of goods happened. We've lost a lot of greats: Carrie Fisher, Alan Rickman, Bowie, Prince. This hasn't been a good year for celebrities. And it also unfortunately hasn't been a great year for movies. But lo and behold, there is a shining light in all of the frankly fucking terrible movies that we had, especially throughout the summer. And the disappointments that just seem to keep on coming left, right and centre. But there have been a few unforgettable movie moments. Now, this is my personal top 10 list. Am I going to be going through all the indie picks that are probably going to be nominated for Oscars? No. Am I going to be going through every single movie this year? You know, you guys might have some that are not on my list. No, because the honest truth is, I haven't seen all the movies. Fact. But this is my personal top 10 list. Few big blockbusters in there, few indies, few Oscar baits in there. It's a nice, well-rounded list. Above everything, it's my list. And that's what you guys are here. You want to hear what this guy, the Silver Screen Dude, has to say to you guys, the Silver Screen Dudes. In a pretty fucking uneventful year in movies, here's my top 10. This really was a surprise, this one, wasn't it? I mean, out of left field, there was no marketing campaign that went into it. And it's related and directly linked to the Cloverfield world. Again, if you want to actually see the review, click on the logo right now and it'll take you to the review and you can see what I said about it. But it was a really, really good, solid little character piece. Really amazing tension that permeated throughout the movie. Ending reminded us that it was in the Cloverfield world, but this was a character piece. And it was a very, very good one at that. If you're expecting a big bombastic action movie, not for you. If you're expecting some good acting and a good plot and intrigue, check it out. 9. And in at number 9 is what a lot of people, I've watched a lot of top 10 lists out there, and people are putting this as the best movie of the year. Can't say I agree with that, but it's a very, very good movie nonetheless. Again, click on it here. Arrival's my number 9. You can see my review here. But this one really, really took a while for me to think about it, for it to mull around and for me to realize this was a deep, good movie. I originally got out thinking it was pretentious art house bullshit. Ooh, never been so wrong. Thinking Man sci-fi. Again, it was kind of promoted as Independence Day for the thinking man. It's a lot more than that. It's actually a movie about humanity, if anything, and it's about how we as human beings directly talk with each other through language, through science, through communication, and it actually expands on that with the arrival of the aliens. Go check it out. If you haven't seen it, you missed out. It's a very good thinking man's film. Number 9, Arrival. 2016 is going to be remembered for one thing above all, is the revival of the horror franchise. There were such good horror movies out this year, but my personal favourite amongst all of the great horror movies was The Conjuring 2. Disclaimer, I don't think for a minute this was anywhere near as good as Conjuring 1, but that's setting the bar pretty damn high. Conjuring 1 is a horror masterpiece. This one is set in my hometown of London, well, just outside of London in Enfield. And it was a little bit too close to home. My house is actually quite similar looking to the house in that movie, so it really made me feel a bit's an understatement. It made me feel really uncomfortable. It played on the tension, it broke horror conventions in the sense that you think a jump scare's coming. Where's the jump scare? It's not coming. And it plays on you for the whole movie like that. Just when you think something's about to jump, it doesn't. So then it sets you up for another jump scare, and it doesn't. And it keeps you hanging on a knife's edge going, can you just please stop torturing me? And for that reason, the way it played on me as a member of the audience, it gets 2 thumbs way, way up. Conjuring 2 is my number 8. 7. Yeah, my number 7 is The Jungle Book, and I think this is one people have not given enough credit to. For sure, people have liked it. For most part, I can't understand the haters out there, being a Disney baby myself. Oh well. But the fact of the matter is that I think what Jon Favreau and the team at Disney achieved making this movie, and specifically talking about the effects, it was a great movie as a whole, but specifically the effects, this is I think a groundbreaking moment in cinema. I think The Jungle Book has made a landmark in the same way as Jurassic Park did, and the same way as Avatar did for special effects, and I don't think it's going to be remembered for that unfairly. Just remember, every single thing you see in this movie, it's green screen. It's green screen. Like one I've got behind me. Here, look. It's a green screen. The fact of the matter is that everything just looks so photoreal. Every grain of dust, every drop of water, every shred of fur on the animals, everything except Mowgli was real. It was just unbelievable. The fact that cinema has come that far It's a groundbreaking achievement. So Jungle Book deservingly makes my list at number 7. 6. Nice Guys is my number 6 from director Shane Black, the same dude who brought us Kiss Kiss Bang Bang and who's now supposedly working on the new Predator movie. This one was a really, really fantastic LA noir crime piece. It reminded me a lot of LA Confidential, and it was like LA Confidential meets Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Two incredible performances from Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe, and the intrigue, it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Buddy cop, LA noir, with a little bit of comedy thrown in, and a lot of people didn't go and see it. It got lost in that build up to the summer with Batman v Superman and Civil War, and it was a real shame. People missed out, and this was a superb little movie. 5. Yeah, this one people missed out on too, and as I said in my review, click here now, but this was basically Scarface meets The Wolf of Wall Street with the arms deal. This was unbelievable, this movie, and once again got lost in the melee of summer blockbusters. But Jonah Hill and Miles Teller, their chemistry together was unbelievable. The story was true, which makes it that much more jaw-dropping, and I have no words for it. Watch my review, go and see it, because frankly, it was one of the most underappreciated movies of 2016, and I also think sadly one of the most underviewed. 4. And at number 4, this one came out way back in January, starring Taron Egerton and Hugh Jackman, and sports movies are great. Eddie the Eagle, again based on a true story of Eddie Edwards, but when sports movies get it right, think Cool Runnings, it's magic. This actually, ironically mentioning Cool Runnings, was actually set in the same Winter Olympics in Calgary as Cool Runnings, and there's a nice little tip of the hat to Cool Runnings during the course of Eddie the Eagle. But if you don't know, it's the story of Eddie Edwards, a very, very subpar athlete, and even calling him an athlete is doing him a courtesy, frankly, who dreams of Olympic glory. He tries out his hand to many different Olympic events, and eventually he says he's going to try ski jumping, one of the most dangerous winter sports out there. And against all odds, with the help of Hugh Jackman, well, I'm not going to spoil it. Go see Eddie the Eagle, because the fact that it's my number 4, for me at least, speaks volumes. One of the most underappreciated movies of the year. Absolutely fantastic. 3. In a year of big promises and of really, really under-delivering comic book movies, nothing, and I mean nothing, is better than Deadpool. This movie, from start to finish, and I mean from start, from the opening credits, had me in stitches. From playing off of comic book stereotypes, from the filthy language that came out of Ryan Reynolds' mouth playing Deadpool, from the really, really actually nice character-driven story, with a actually good love story in there for once. How often do you see a good love story in a comic book movie? This one was actually really good. Yeah, people argue there could have been more action. It was a comic book character piece with marginal but very explosive action and brilliant comedy to boot. It rewrote the book of what a comic book movie can be. And it took 10 years to make. Normally that sets the alarm bells ringing. How often is a movie in development for 10 years and turns out to be good like this? Oh, and by the way, hashtag best marketing ever. Deadpool's my number 3. 2. Ooh, yeah. This one, number 2, Hacksaw Ridge. This one I remember really, really hit home. It's a true story. Some people are not giving it its due credit because of the fact that it's Mel Gibson. Again, separate the art from the artist, please. Watch the review. I've said that before. Yeah, there's a little bit too much beating on the chest about the Catholic Church, but the fact of the matter is it's overwhelmed by the humanity of this story. And again, like Full Metal Jacket, movie of two halves, you've got the training, you've got the humanity of this guy saying, yeah, I want to be a soldier, I don't want to take lives, juxtaposed with the, some people call it gore porn. Yeah, the second part, there's some serious violence going on, but I don't think it was an over-exaggeration. I'm going to assume, having never been to war, that's probably what war looks like. And the fact that Andrew Garfield's character, Desmond, pursued this line of, I will not take a human life, even when it's being taken all around me. And the part that just absolutely killed me, the interview with the real Desmond Doss at the end, I mean, had me in tears. Absolute masterpiece. Hacksaw Ridge is my number 2. Was there ever any doubt? Only the second time since I've been doing this movie reviewing have I given a movie a 10 out of 10. La La Land I mean, I'm going to repeat what I said in the review. It is an all-singing, all-dancing Oscar frontrunner. It is the best movie I've seen this year. It is an absolute masterpiece. They don't make movies like this anymore. Not in my wildest dreams would I ever say or imagine that a musical, a hybrid musical, but still a musical, would be my favourite film in the year. But it was. The chemistry, the throwbacks to classic Hollywood, to things like An American in Paris, to things like Rebel Without a Cause, to things like Singing in the Rain, to the beautiful set pieces, the fantastic colour palette, the acting. I mean, it was perfect in every single aspect. You should be privileged to see movies like this. I don't think movies like this come around very often. We're talking once in a generation. If you haven't seen it, especially if you're in the UK where it's not actually out yet, run out and see it. Please. I was lucky enough to see it early. Go and see it. I'm begging you. Go and see it. Treat yourself to a masterclass of cinema making. Where's Civil War? Actually, do you know what? Civil War's probably the only one I can think that might surprise people for not being on here. 2016 wasn't a strong year, but the movies that will stay with me are the ones I've just mentioned. But I'd be very interested to hear what you guys have to say. Please leave your thoughts and your comments below in the comment section. Give this video a thumbs up and do share with me what your top 10 are, or even less. Share with me what your favourite movie this year has been. I'd love to hear from you guys. And please, as always, tune in to Silver Screen Dudes every weekend. By the way, we are going to mix things up in 2017. We're not going to do our shows throughout the week. We're going to be doing purely movie reviews for now. And you can tune in Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you can catch all of the latest movie reviews from this guy, Nico Leroux of the Silver Screen Dudes. Now go watch my top 10 worst of 2016. Have a good time with that one. See ya.